the transmission mount is in about the same condition as our motor mounts were. All busted up, no good. We also have some exhaust donuts we're going to be replacing here. Hopefully get the parts tomorrow, but I think I have this already in one of my bins. So not only is the old mount in chunks and pieces, but look at this height here compared to the new one. Way different. This thing's all squished down, so that's not helping us either with that motor, and the whole drivetrain is bouncing around inside there. One complaint I have with the new motor mounts and transmission mounts I've been getting is there's so much gunk and paint on them that you can't get nuts on them. You got to buy a die and chase the threads just to get your fasteners on them. It's kind of annoying, but anyways, that one is shot. That one should make a big difference. Well, this exhaust leak thing has turned into a bit of a mess. You can see that anything's are shot. We got new ones. I got one in already. So the donuts are shot. I had to go ahead and pull off this exhaust manifold. That gasket is toast. I'm gonna plug these while I got it off and just get these out of the way. They're nothing but knuckle busters. The other issue is this motor was replaced only about 30,000 miles ago, and you can tell because the exhaust is actually coming apart. In fact, it's coming apart so well the bolts are falling out and I'm losing them. I gotta go to the hardware store now and get some missing bolts for the exhaust manifold as well as a new gasket. But yeah, I mean, that's one good thing about this is the motor's good, but when he put it in, he he didn't tighten everything down and he reused bad gaskets on the exhaust. So we'll get all that fixed. And this is why we are dying of heat in this shop, huh, Macy? 90.6 and going up. We got this all back together and the holes are all plugged. We got new gaskets. The old bolts are cleaned up. The missing bolts have been replaced and it sounds good. No more exhaust leaks. So I think the engine bay hopefully is cleaned up enough for us to just start focusing on other areas.
Yay.
Ready? Here we go. Okay, go with that way. Yeah, we'll grab it with the winch. Get it out of here. So now, let's move this just up out of the garage.
I mean,
In the garage, yeah. Got it? So let's just see how much we gotta cut off. Yeah, we're gonna have this. Then we'll do the same, put the bottom out, then we'll just right here, we'll just fold it up. Make sense? But we don't have to do that right now. I think right now we need to sweep. And then we need to work on our leaf springs. We'll work on the leaf springs, get the lift in it, get the shocks out, bump stops in. 93, it's still going up. What do you think there, buddy?
hot. Very hot.
Yep.
Come on, stupid piece of poop.
Hi, you helping, Onyx?
Yeah.
Oh, what are you guys doing?
Oh, I don't know what these are called, but we're getting them off.
Oh, Macy knows what to do. She's already got one side done.
To put these new ones up.
Yeah, we're gonna add a leaf, aren't we?
And if you look on the other side, there's one crack, which is poop.
Yeah, that's a bad thing. We've got one side done. Missy did it all by herself, and now she's trying to get this. But we got some broken leaves. I'm gonna have to deal with that.
I'm not even pulling the line. It's almost there. I wonder if I can hit that with a hammer.
blade. Look at your blade. Wait for it to stop. Now turn it over. Is it missing any chunks? Here, let me see it. Let me see it. Turn it so I can see the whole blade. Turn the whole, there you go. You start seeing this in big chunks, you can't use it anymore, okay? So hear that, kunk, that did that. If you have a bad one, it'll take a chip out and you can't use that anymore. That's borderline. You can probably keep using that. All right, we got the comp cut done on one side, and it's just getting too hot. It's too hot to keep working. So we're gonna call it good for the day, or at least until it cools off this evening, and then we'll work on the other side. But we're about ready to get this sucker rolled underneath there.
So, what Dan and I did is this competition cut. And as you guys can see that we put the tires in there, but obviously it's not completely in because of the springs are not done yet because they're still laying on the floor. And we have two that are cracked. And those are gonna get replaced.
So what's the competition cut for?
The competition cut is so we can fit these tires in here. And isn't it so we don't hurt the tires?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't want to have the tires rub and get cut, right?
No.
Yeah, so you can kind of get an idea of what it's gonna look like. Let's take a look. Not on a weight yet. It's gonna go down a little bit, but you can kind of see how it's shaping up. Okay, let's show them underneath. That axle sitting under there. You can kind of see where we're gonna put the spring perches.
Closer. That's good. Back here. Huh?
Alrighty, there it is.
Yep.
Another Dana 35.
Yay.
All right, here's super buff Macy. We'll show you how strong she is. She's gonna break a leaf spring
If I can.
with her bare hands. Go for it.
I can't even.
Come on, come on. Oh, look at that, buff Macy. Wow. Hey, let's take a up close look at that.
That was.
That's how barely they were holding on. They've been cracked like that for years. Look at that. They're ready to go. Good thing we're rebuilding this thing, huh?
Yeah.
We've got our parts to finish our spring packs. New isolators to replace the old ones. Those are like 20 bucks for a bag of 12, more than I need. New bottom leaves to replace the broken ones. You can see this is how thin the OEM ones are, and the Iron Rock Off-Road ones are considerably thicker. So hopefully these do a better job for us. But we'll get those on and get this thing back on an axle. So one U-bolt eliminator plate has been modified with an extension sticking out to the side and 2 holes in it. It's a 1/4-inch plate that I'm going to bolt a 3-inch bump stop to the bottom side that'll go to the axle. So I just took the plasma cutter, slotted it roughly with the plasma cutter, and then took a round file and cleaned it up a little bit. And I'll show you, I will put it on and show you how this is going to work and why I ended up doing it this way. So here's with the U-bolt eliminators in place. I got some temporary nuts on there for now. But the bump stop is going to come down and hit here. And the 2 holes I drilled, what I'm going to do is invert a 3-inch bump stop that'll fit perfect right here. So there'll be a 3-inch bump stop on this axle tied to this top plate. Now, this is a 4-inch bump stop. So here's what I have in mind. If I need more bump stop, if I need to limit my travel more, I can add thickness here. If I need more travel, more stuff, I can either cut this down where I need it, or I could even go to, this is a 4-inch, I can even go to a 3-inch bump stop and then modify that. So I have adjustments to add this way, and I have adjustments to subtract here to fine tune this once we get this thing on the road. And then this will be supported right here so it doesn't bend, and I'm not tying this plate to my axle tube. I don't want to weld anything to here because then I can't get this apart without cutting welds. And the reason I did it this way is because this bump stop encroaches just enough into this U-bolt eliminator plate that it would hit it right here. It would come up and hit it and scrape it and tear this off. So I had to come up with a different way to make this thing work with these U-bolt eliminators and using the factory location for these bump stops. That's why I ended up going like this route. Well, hopefully it works, and it should. As you can see my mess here, as I'm building some Jeep parts, I don't have a real shop. This is just my 2-car garage to my house, and I don't have very expensive tools. For the cutting and welding of the metal, I'm using a plasma cutter my wife bought me off Amazon. I think it was right about $100. It's the Cut 50. It works really well as long as you have compressed air and a circuit breaker that'll hold, because it does draw a lot of amps. It actually does work really well. For my heavy duty welding, I have this little IGBT welder. It's a stick welder. It does small rod, 1/8 inch and smaller, but it actually cranks way up there. It'll weld 1/4-inch plate, no problem. Works great for that, as long as you can stick weld. I do have an old Lincoln welder that has an absolute noisy fan. Works great, makes a ton of noise. Someone gave it to me. And since I got the little IGBT, I really haven't even used this ever since. So that might go away. Then I have a $100 Amazon wire feed welder that makes booger welds, but is great for tacking things together or welding thin sheet metal. So it's just a little flux core welder for about $100. So as you can see, not a whole lot of money invested in tools. If I was to start over, I'd probably just get maybe a little better wire feed, that same stick welder, and the same plasma cutter. That's really all you would need to start making Jeep parts.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Cherokee Chief. The axle is in, that forward 9-inch. The leaf springs have been added. Right now the axle is, I would say, a little more than tacked in, but not fully welded. racer. That and our lovely hood scoop there. Yeah, very 70s-esque. And now we are going to try and get it out of the garage for a delivery we're expecting tomorrow.
With no rear back.
Yeehaw!
Oh yeah, we have no rear brakes.
Oh, well, that's fun.
Yeah, I hope the bike's full.
Oh. Just kidding. Yay! Yeehaw. Next up, the front.